with your hosts, Charles Davis, Darrell Patterson, Greg Peterson, Steve Phillips, and play-by-play from the voice of the Vols, John Ward. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the Big Orange Ford dealers of Tennessee, where you can get America's best-built, best-selling cars and trucks. By St. Mary's Medical Center in Knoxville, caring for you anytime with total health care. By the natural gas utilities and pipeline companies throughout Tennessee. And by First American, where banking is still a people business.
Again, everybody, I'm Greg Peterson, and welcome to Big Orange Sunday. Once again, coming to you high atop the field here at Neyland Stadium, where yesterday 94,000 homecoming fans saw the Tennessee Vols whip up on Ole Miss to the tune of 55-13. And once again this week, along with me, Steve Phillips, sports director at WKRN in Nashville, and expert analysis from, well, we use that term rather loosely, expert Charles Davis, former Vol defensive back. And yesterday, one word really characterized the way this ball game went: domination on the part of the Tennessee Vols.
Certainly did. It was the game I'm sure Coach Johnny Majors had looked for from the team all year long. They put it together: offense, defense, kicking game. It was an emotional win. Almost everything went right.
It was everything a coach could ask for, and I don't think he could really ask for much more. Players fear films on Sunday night, but I don't think they have much to fear this week. They played a perfect football game, as we'll see coming up here on the show.
Got an action-packed hour for you. We'll have the highlights of yesterday's game, plus go to the locker room to talk with the fans, plus some features for you, all coming up next on Big Orange Sunday.
The tradition of horsepower. Miss Budweiser and the king of beers. A tradition of horsepower that's making waves. Racing fans, this Bud's for you. America's best-selling small pickup. America's best-selling full-size pickup, 10 years running. Just part of the most successful line of trucks in America. And while these trucks are obviously tough, guessing who makes them is easy. Ford.
Winning the world over. You're winning. Have you been behind the wheel? Ooh. Winning the world over. Have you driven a Ford lately?
When it comes to choosing a bank, most of us need the basic services just about any bank offers. So how do people choose a bank? They look for a solid reputation in their local community, convenience, accuracy, and most of all, they look for personal service and attention to their needs. If you're banking somewhere else, why not try the personal service we offer at First American, where banking is still a people business?
It was Tennessee weather in front of a homecoming crowd at Neyland Stadium yesterday, and November is a time when Tennessee traditionally plays or ends up with 3 SEC opponents. Traditionally, they play well in November, and certainly they have gotten this November off to a good start.
Well, it certainly was, as Tennessee played Charles Davis very well. Particularly significant, not only homecoming, but before the game, Coach Johnny Majors, who on December 8th will be inducted into the National College Football Hall of Fame, was honored with the presentation of the plaque, and that's a very moving moment and got the thing off right.
That's a great honor for Coach Majors, and it helped that his team played so well that day also. It made it so much better for him.
Tennessee played very well in the first half, as you're going to see. So well, indeed, that Coach Majors said after the game if he had known that Tennessee was going to be ahead, he would have accepted the award at halftime, not before the game. Set to pick it up, and Tennessee will have the football as we get the play underway, and the pass is complete upfield. This is Reggie Cobb. taking the pass from Sterling Hinton, who's in there at quarterback. Tennessee has moved out for a gain of 17 yards on the first play.
Sterling Hinton comes out on a sprint out pass out to his left, gets good protection, sets up, and fires out to Reggie Cobb out in the left flat. Reggie Cobb turns upfield and breaks a tackle, powers upfield for a 17-yard gain.
Tennessee did not move with the first two possessions, punted twice. Now the Volunteers on the third possession. The long pass intended downfield for Thomas Woods is incomplete. Defending is Sandroni, who has intercepted 7 passes this year for Ole Miss. Tennessee comes right back, running up the middle, and this will be Reggie Cobb. And Reggie Cobb rambles downfield for a gain of 24 yards. And it's first down 10, Tennessee at the 32-yard line of the Rebels.
Tennessee's offensive front chops a big hole there for Reggie Cobb. Gets a block from Charles Wilson, but sets it up with a good move. Now he puts an excellent fake on the safety for Ole Miss and turns upfield for 24 big yards.
And Tennessee will have the ball first down and 10 to go. The tackle made, and here's Tennessee running the other way, and carrying the ball for the Volunteers is Charles Wilson. Picks up 5 yards, and then a penalty marker is dropped. And as you see, a personal foul after the ball was dead against Ole Miss. So it's all the way down to the 13-yard line, where Tennessee has it first down and 10. Checking off at the line, Sterling Hinton, freshman quarterback, Passaic, New Jersey, in his second start. Handoff, Keith Davis, tailback at the 10. Davis at the 5. Davis carries the ball down to the 2-yard line, where Tennessee will have it first down and goal.
Keith Davis running better and better with each and every week. This is the Keith Davis that everyone expected to see when he came to Tennessee. He's been healthy the last few weeks, and he's running harder and harder each time. You see the hole up front. There's Kirk in the middle, Galbraith, Bruin. There's 3 big stalwarts up front for Tennessee. Keith Davis gets a big hole, runs down inside the 5-yard line.
0-0 the score. First quarter, Tennessee homecoming 1987. This will be Reggie Cobb diving. Touchdown, Big Orange.
Another touchdown for Reggie Cobb. They're going to call him Mr. Touchdown soon to be his middle name. And here he is going into the end zone one more time. We've talked in weeks past about Tennessee's forward wall having to chop down the defense down on the goal line so that Reggie Cobb can get up in the air and get into the end zone. And here they do it again for him. And once again, he dives in for another touchdown.
So Tennessee going toward the south end of the football field, grabs a 6-0 lead, and the extra point is up, and it is good by Phil Rich. So the Vols move 73 yards in 6 plays, 1 minute and 43 seconds the length of the drive, and Tennessee kicks off. Ole Miss has moved the ball back upfield to the Rebel 39-yard line. The quarterback is Darnell. He's back to throw. Looking, was going to run with the football to the 40, is knocked down by Hovanek, and also in there Kelly after a gain of 3 yards to the 42-yard line. And in the punt will be Childers, averaging 38 yards per punt. Childers deep for Ole Miss. For Tennessee, backing up will be Thomas Woods. High punt, long punt. There you see, backing up Woods, makes it about the 6-yard line. 10, 15, Woods upfield. Woods running with that football. Good blocking, and this is Thomas Woods, who rambles all the way to the Volunteer 42-yard line on the return. 36 yards on that fine return by Thomas Woods.
You see another example of the Tennessee kicking game, something they take a lot of pride in, and they'll always have at the University of Tennessee, and has been dormant lately here during this football season. But Thomas Woods gets a nice gap, gets good blocks from his people, gets upfield. There's Mike Kelly trying to help him. They run into each other, but an excellent return by Thomas Woods.
Woods from Gallatin, Tennessee, gives Tennessee the ball first down 10 at the 42-yard line. Sterling Hinton, the quarterback. Howard. Well, there's the shift. Howard is actually the running back behind the quarterback, and this is he, banging the left side of the line. He rams it forward for a gain of 2 yards. And it will be then Tennessee penalized 5 yards, moving it back to the 39, where it's got to be second down, 13 yards to go. The score in the football game is 7-0, Tennessee leading, nearing the end of the first period. Hinton looking, long pass downfield is incomplete. Almost grabbed by Reggie Cobb, who was defended by Price, but the pass goes incomplete, and it's got to be third down, Tennessee. Hinton again looking, waiting. Pass across the field is complete. That's Kennard McGuire, who yanks it down on a fine reception.
A great play for Tennessee here. You see Sterling Hinton is gaining in confidence and gaining in maturity with each passing week. Goes straight back into the pocket. He's on the near hash. He steps up, looks for a deep out pattern to Kennard McGuire, throws the ball. Perfect pass. Great catch by Kennard McGuire, the senior from Memphis, and that takes a lot of arm strength to throw that ball, John.
First down 10 at the Ole Miss 42-yard line as the first quarter nears its conclusion, and on the final play of the first period, Howard carries and is actually knocked down for a loss of 3. We'll hold it right here moving into the second period. Tennessee leading 7-0, and back to throw on the first play in the second quarter. Hinton looking downfield. There's Terrence Cleveland. Touchdown, Terrence Cleveland.
Beautiful pass from Sterling Hinton to Terrence Cleveland. Tennessee's running game has been effective early in the ball game, and here's Sterling Hinton goes to play action, which helps freeze Ole Miss's linebackers and up front people. Steps back and goes over the top to Terrence Cleveland, who's easily defeated Ole Miss's secondary for the touchdown.
And Tennessee takes the lead by a score of 13-0.
That was the type of defense they had been playing. And I'm glad that Coach Harris called it and had confidence in me, and he just called it. And I beat the guy because he was playing man-to-man coverage. And before I knew it, I was behind everybody, and Sterling made a real good throw, and it ended up as a touchdown.
So Tennessee leads by a score of 13-0, and here's Rich for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. And Tennessee's lead is 14-0. And the surprising thing, perhaps, or to me the most notable thing, is the length of the drive. 1:43, 1:39, and Tennessee's ahead 14-0.
The quick strike offense there, I think the Germans used to call that the blitzkrieg. That's the kind of attack that they like to use in war, and that's what Tennessee's putting on Ole Miss at this moment in the ballgame.
Also, the offense was extremely balanced. They started out running the ball quite a bit. First two or three drives, and then the touchdown pass just then. So I'm sure Coach Majors was pleased with that. I guess he doesn't matter how long the drive is if you get it in the end zone. Back with a look at the second quarter in just a moment.
Sports medicine. One of many programs available at Baptist Hospital's HealthPlex. Doctors, physical therapists, and other specialists work as a team to treat sports-related injuries and chronic pain. Through the use of the latest muscle therapies and non-surgical technologies, sports participants are being returned to their games faster, without pain. Baptist Hospital, a leader in world medicine.
Why is Bank of Bartlett becoming the favorite bank of so many folks in Shelby County? Because a good banking relationship just doesn't happen. At Bank of Bartlett, we make it happen for you. With Saturday banking, longer hours to serve you, a 24-hour teller machine, and friendly people working hard to satisfy all your banking needs. Come visit us at Bank of Bartlett and our affiliate, Bartlett Mortgage. We'll make it happen for you.
Jam! Look, new jam, new rock and curl jam. You see the greatest look and most incredible hair when rock and curl jam is there. Wow, wow, what a smile, she's the prettiest girl. I love new jam, rock and curl.
She's prettier than ever. I love what you can do with her hair.
You can curl it up, you can tease it out. Rock and curl jam's got hair to raise my clouds. Jam, rock and curl jam. Suburban Chevrolet.
The new Chevrolet dealership is Suburban Chevrolet in Collierville. See and drive the new 88 Chevrolet cars and trucks, including Corsica and Beretta. The best deal on wheels is found at the new Suburban Chevrolet out east, where the sun comes up and the price goes down.
Memphis is growing our way.
Cut a big slice right off the sticker price from Suburban Chevrolet, 615 West Poplar, Collierville.
A lot of times you tend to overlook the play of the defense, but Tennessee's defense certainly
allowed the offense to get into the ball game.
Tennessee leads by a score of 14-0 as we continue action in the second period of the football game. The Volunteers have possession. It'll be first down, 10 to go for Tennessee at the 26-yard line. Keith Davis lashing through the right side of the line, bangs forward for a gain of a yard, and it will be second down and 9. Sterling Hinton at quarterback for Tennessee. The Vols using a lot of people, both offensively and defensively, and Hinton this time finds nobody open, so he scampers forward for a gain of 2 more, and it will be for Tennessee at the 29-yard line, 3rd and 7. Back to throw Hinton. Long pass downfield, complete. Pulled down there by Vincent Moore. Moore rambles with the football all the way down to the 15-yard line of Ole Miss. 56 yards on the pass and run.
Sterling Hinton's having a fine football game here, and here he goes straight back in the pocket, and he's looking upfield. Sterling Hinton doesn't like anything in the horizontal passing game. He loves it vertically, likes to go up top. Here he finds Vince Moore way downfield. Another perfect throw by Sterling, a good catch by Vince, who shakes off a tackler and rambles downfield to get to the 15-yard line.
It's first down, 10 Tennessee after another big play from Hinton, this time to Vincent Moore, the Memphian. And so first down 10. Keith Davis at tailback for the Volunteers. The shifting Ole Miss defense. Delay. Davis carrying that football, rambling for a gain of 8 yards, all the way down to the 7-yard stripe. And Tennessee will have it second down and 3 yards to go, leading 14-0. Again, Hinton sizing it up. Again, the pitch. Davis in trouble. Breaks that tackle and works his way forward for a gain of a yard when it could have been a loss of about 3. Excellent effort by Keith Davis. Moving it down to the 6-yard line where it's third down and 1. Now Reggie Cobb in at tailback. Here's the pitch. Here's the sweep. Here's the first down for Tennessee as Reggie Cobb works his way down to the 4-yard line where the Vols, leading 14-0, will have it first down and goal. Out of the power I set. Handoff wing back. Charles Wilson. Touchdown, Tennessee.
A good play, Tennessee, with their power set in. Two tight ends in the game, 3 running backs. This time Charles Wilson comes from his wingback position, running the same play he ran for the first touchdown of the season against Iowa, the wingback counter play. He runs and powers into the end zone for a touchdown.
And so Tennessee now leads early in the second quarter by a score of 20-0. And on to attempt the extra point will be Phil Rich. This kick is up, and it's good. Tennessee leads 21-0. The Volunteers kick off, and we pick up the action now with Ole Miss in possession. Darnell at quarterback at the Ole Miss 33-yard line. The pitch will go to Thomas. He fumbles the football. Scramble. Tennessee's got it. Keith DeLong has recovered the fumble.
There's the alert Tennessee defense that we were talking about just a few moments ago. Darnell comes down the line, faking the option, pitches it out to his tailback Thomas, who never quite gets a grasp of the football, fumbles it. There, Andre Kramer looks like he's going to come up with a recovery, but he fumbles it also, and is finally alertly fallen on by Keith DeLong, who's having a fine football game.
So Tennessee has the ball, and the give this time is to Charles Wilson, running from the tailback position, and it's Wilson who cracks the right side for a gain of 4 yards. Wilson again to the left at the 30. Wilson to the 25. Wilson to the 20. Wilson carries the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line. Fine effort by Charles Wilson, the senior from Pritchard, Alabama. And Tennessee will have it first down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Pitch Reggie Cobb at the corner. Reggie Cobb to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Reggie Cobb.
Reggie Cobb again scoring another touchdown, a very, very familiar sight this year for Tennessee football fans. And the mark of a great running back is not how many yards he gains necessarily, but a lot of times it's how many yards he gains after contact. Here Reggie Cobb's hit, he spins, shakes off a tackler, and goes into the end zone. He really has a nose for it.
So Tennessee moves in 3 plays, 31 yards, 105 the length of this drive, 1 minute and 5 seconds. And here for the extra point attempt will once more be Phil Rich, and this one is good. And so Tennessee leads by a score of 28-0 with 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the first half of the game. Ole Miss takes the ensuing kickoff, and they have been moving with the football. Darnell at quarterback. Darnell looking, throwing downfield. It is almost intercepted. Peppers thinks he has one, but as you see, a second look.
Victor Peppers gets a great break on the football. It breaks up the pass here. It looks like an interception, but it turns out to be a very good call by the referee as he actually dropped it and fell on it.
So it will be Ole Miss with the ball. Darnell again throwing downfield, incomplete. It was intended for Willie Green. McDaniel defending for Tennessee. It will be 4th down at the 33, and Ole Miss trailing 28-0 is going for the first. Darnell in the shadows looking, throwing into the sunlight. It's complete. It's caught this time by Moore, who's upended by Warren, but it's enough for the first down, 17 yards. Carrying around on the sweep of the right side is Cleveland, and Cleveland moves the ball down to the 14-yard line of Tennessee. Ole Miss trailing 28-0. Back to throw Darnell. People covered, he'll run. Darnell at the 15, Darnell at the 10, Darnell at the 5. Darnell scores for the Rebels. Ole Miss with a touchdown by Darnell.
Darnell goes straight back in the pocket, and there's good coverage in the secondary by Tennessee, so he's flushed out of the pocket. He comes straight upfield, makes a cut to the outside, picks up a block there. Then as he gets near the goal, he gets an excellent block from a wide receiver, so he's able to go in for the touchdown.
So Ole Miss is on the scoreboard, trailing now 28-6. The extra point is up toward the south end, good, and so the Volunteers lead by a score of 28-7. Nearing the end of the first half, actually about 2 minutes left to go in the first half as we pick up the action after the ensuing kickoff. And this will be Hinton back to throw, and this will be Cleveland, and this will be complete for 43 yards all the way to the Ole Miss 25.
As we stated earlier, Sterling Hinton doesn't like to throw the ball out in the flat a whole lot. He likes to go upfield with it. Pretty soon he's going to be known as the Mad Bomber to Tennessee fans. He steps up in the pocket, throws deep, and Terrence Cleveland makes an excellent adjustment to the football, turns the Ole Miss cornerback around, goes to the outside, makes a great grab.
Tennessee first down 10 at the 25-yard line, at the 32-yard line, actually. Carrying the ball will be through the left side of the line, Cobb. On the play, Tennessee guilty of a penalty, so it's back out to the Ole Miss 30-yard line. Back to throw will be Tennessee's Hinton. Rips the ball downfield toward the end zone. It is incomplete, intended again this time for Cleveland. And so with the ball at the 30-yard line, it's second down 15, and carrying the ball, this will be Sterling Hinton on the keeper, and Hinton rambles all the way down for a gain of 14 yards to the 16-yard line. A second look.
There's the quarterback draw that Sterling Hinton ran last week against Louisville. Last week the hole was clogged up where it was supposed to have been, but this week it's open. So he takes it, gets upfield, makes a nice move, and makes a nice run. Sterling Hinton showing a lot of athletic ability.
And then Tennessee on the give as it's this time Hinton keeping for the first down try. Change that. Howard carries the ball for a gain of about 6. It's first down 10 at the 10. And there to stop the clock, Hinton throws the ball out of bounds. Tennessee only has one timeout remaining as the Volunteers line up with the give to Cobb, and Cobb, slashing the left side of the line, bangs it down to the 2-yard line. The fans want Tennessee to go for it, and so Tennessee will go for it. Third down and goal. Quarterback Hinton fakes, keeps Hinton on his way. Give it to him. Touchdown, Big Orange.
This is an excellent call by Tennessee's coaching staff here. They ran the wingback counter earlier in the ball game. This time they fake it. They run the companion play to it. Hinton on a run-pass option, sees the run, takes it into the end zone for a touchdown.
It was the original play, yes. It was a pass read. I'm coming out on the run. My first read is the run. And they didn't take away the run, so I'm just going on my first read. No need to go down a progression when the first thing is open.
And in for the extra point after the touchdown by Hinton is Phil Rich. It's up and it's good. And so at the end of the first half, because that was in essence the final play of the first half, Tennessee leads by a score of 35-7. Homecoming 1987 going Tennessee's way right now. We'll have a special look at homecoming coming up in just a moment.
The old grads had to be happy. Well, there were a lot of old grads in the stands and in Knoxville yesterday. Stephanie Boyd has a look at what some of them were up to.
The sounds of Rocky Top. It's a tune we all know, but never does it sound louder than when homecoming rolls around. Whether it's the banners hanging from Neyland Stadium or the traditional soapbox derby down Volunteer Boulevard, the events of homecoming week have special meaning for many UT students, both past and present.
After a week full of activities, this is the point that it's all been leading up to, when students and alumni get together for the homecoming football game.
And no homecoming game would be complete without the Over the Hill Alumni Band. Starting the game off with a little nostalgic music, the former band members say this chance to join together again provides them with their own bit of nostalgia.
It's fun to reminisce. It's like going to a class reunion, you know. We stand around talking about all the games we used to go to and the trips, and, you know, it brings back a lot of memories, really.
It's something that meant so much to me in college, and to see old friends and come back and do it again. This is my first year doing it, but I know that for years to come I'm going to be doing it.
It's a chance for us to get back out and have our moment of glory once again. And we, like I keep saying, we just have a tremendous time out here.
But band members don't have a monopoly on coming back and doing it again. The alumni cheerleaders also get a chance to return to the field.
Just miss it. I'm a big Orange fan, so I still like to come out and get dressed in orange and white and cheer. It's wonderful.
All the guys that I cheered with are really like my best friends now, and about the only time we all get together is homecoming. This is my one for sure Tennessee football game, and I wouldn't pass it up for anything.
For Big Orange Sunday, I'm Stephanie Boyd.
Homecoming 1987 is always a very special time for alumni class reunions, starting from the class of 1942 on forward. It was a great day, particularly from the Tennessee perspective, because the Volunteers are leading at halftime by a score of 35-7. We'll see the second half coming up.
Quarter, 35-7, and I know coaches like to stick with their game plans, but when you're down 35-7 halfway through the game, you've got to try something else.
There is no game plan when you're down 35-7. The only plan you have is whatever you can do to get back into the game as quick as possible, and about the best way you can do that in the way the game's played today is by passing the football. And that's what Ole Miss tried to do, and of course, as we see as it comes up here, it didn't work for them at all.
Tennessee will be kicking off to start the second half, and Ole Miss will have the ball. It's Berganoni who kicks off, and we pick up the action as it's now second down 10 at the 36-yard line for the Rebels. Tennessee leading 35-7. The quarterback going all the way, John Darnell, checks off as you see, back to throw. He's in trouble. Richard Cooper sacked Tennessee.
Tennessee put good pressure on Ole Miss's quarterbacks all day yesterday. Ended up with 4 sacks, broke up 7 passes in the secondary. Here, Richard Cooper just comes through and overpowers the man assigned to block him, runs him right over, makes Darnell pull the ball down, and gets another sack for him.
So it's 3rd down 16, Ole Miss trailing 35-7. Richard Cooper, the senior from Memphis, with the sack. And it will be Darnell back to throw. Setting up, looking, pass across the middle, intercepted Tennessee. DeLong has the football, and he returns it 10 yards down to the 23-yard line.
Darnell wants to look downfield and find a wide receiver, but Tennessee's secondary playing very, very well. Throws the ball I'm sure he would love to have back. Throws the ball to the inside instead of the outside, and Keith DeLong alertly picks it off.
Tennessee first down 10 now at the 23-yard line of the Rebels of Mississippi. 3rd quarter just getting underway. Tennessee already on top 35-7. The tailback for Tennessee is Reggie Cobb. Hinton makes the pitch to Cobb. He sweeps, gets a block there, turns upfield, runs through a tackle. This is Reggie Cobb with the ball, dancing forward for a gain of 14 yards, all the way to the 9-yard line where it's first down goal. Here's Cobb again, slashing, touchdown, Reggie Cobb. His 3rd of the game, and Tennessee leads 41-7.
Reggie Cobb gets a big hole up here in the front. There you see John Bruin just riding his man way out of the play there. Reggie Cobb finds the hole, cuts into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the ball game.
And that's 19 all told for Cobb this year, 2 short of the Tennessee record, which was set back in 1929 by Gene McEver. The extra point by Rich is up and good. This drive takes 39 seconds, 23 yards, 2 plays, and the Volunteers lead 42-7. But Ole Miss is moving with the football after the kickoff downfield with a new quarterback at the helm. This is Mark Young. Young back to throw. Pass downfield is incomplete. It's intended for Green. Defending for Tennessee is McDaniel. It'll be 2nd down 10 at the 42-yard line. Little dump pass caught out here by Cleveland. Cleveland is knocked down by Kramer after getting right at 4 yards. So on 3rd down 6 with Tennessee leading 42-7, Young fades to throw. Looks toward the east sideline. Long pass downfield is battled for, yanked away by Green, and Green goes in to score for the Rebels. The touchdown, 64 yards.
On 3rd and 6, and with the score 42-7, Ole Miss has absolutely nothing to lose by going for a quick strike. And here he finds Green open downfield. Well, that really opened. Actually, it was excellent coverage by Victor Peppers. But Green being 6'2" and Peppers 5'8", Young threw the ball up for a jump ball, and Green won at that time.
And so Ole Miss will go for the 2-point try, trailing now 42-13. Looking the same way where the touchdown was scored. This time, Victor Peppers swats it down. And so the 2-point try fails, and Tennessee leads by a score of 42-13. Here's the ensuing kickoff, and it's coming downfield, and back under the ball for Tennessee will be Terrence Cleveland. Cleveland with running room. This is Cleveland. This is Cleveland on his way to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. 45-40, knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And Tennessee gets a 61.
4th quarter, it was homecoming, and with a score like that, you would expect to see a lot of reserves. And Coach Johnny Majors started substituting freely in the 4th quarter, but, you know, it didn't really seem to matter. When he put the reserves in, they did just as well.
No, it really didn't. Tennessee's been using 2 offensive lines, 2 complete offensive lines this whole season, and they've worked just as effectively as the first team unit did. A lot of people got to play on defense. A lot of people got to play in every phase of the football game yesterday.
Tennessee did use a lot of people, and a lot of people also performed quite well on the special teams, and we'll be talking about that. But right now, let's go into action in the 4th period. Tennessee leading by a score of 42-13. Number 12, Randy Sanders, Junior Morristown, is the quarterback, and he's handing the ball off to Keith Davis. And Davis, who went right at 100 yards rushing for the football game, picks up 16 this year on a straight-ahead drive.
Straight-ahead blast, like you said, John. And here's Keith Davis just finding a gap. We talk about a 2nd-team offensive line. There you see Doug Baird getting a good block for Keith Davis. He slashes up in there and powers his way up for a 1st down.
Tennessee has moved the ball down to the Ole Miss 28-yard line. It's 1st down at 10, and again it's Keith Davis, who cuts back for a pickup of 5 before he's knocked down by linebacker Robert Smith. 2nd down 5, Tennessee at the 23-yard line. Here's the reverse. Terrence Cleveland at the outside, 15-10. There's a penalty marker down. But he gets all the way down to about the 8-yard line, but Tennessee is penalized for holding. It's back now to the 25-yard line, 2nd down and about 6.5. Pass thrown, pass caught, rambling with the football forward. On the screen, Keith Davis for a pickup of 7. And so Tennessee at the 18-yard line has it 1st down 10. This is Charles Wilson knocking through the right side of the line for a gain of 4. Tennessee now has Vando Davis in at tailback, and this is Vando. 10-5, touchdown, Vando Davis for the Volunteers.
Vando Davis, the third Tennessee running back to get into the end zone in this football game. And this time, Vando takes the ball in a toss sweep, one of Tennessee's favorite plays. You see the good blocking out front by that offensive line. They just sealed the corner. Charles Wilson gets all the way out to the corner without having to throw a block. And Vando Davis, with his great speed, goes into the end zone.
So Tennessee now leads by a score of 48-13. On to attempt the extra point again is Phil Rich. Snaps, fumbled. England tries to get the ball, but it will be pounced upon by Lowe of Ole Miss. And so Tennessee's 7th extra point try is missed, and the Volunteers maintain a 48-13 lead. After Ole Miss has been stopped, Tennessee has the football at the Ole Miss 43-yard line. The handoff on the reverse, this time to Vincent Moore, who already has a big catch in the football game. Now it's a big run on the reverse, a gain of 21 yards for the freshman from Memphis.
We talked about different people doing different things. This is Vince Moore carrying the ball in the wingback reverse and played Tennessee U successfully all afternoon. And this time he's the second wingback to carry the ball, as Terrence Cleveland had carried it earlier. Puts on a nice move, gets good blocking, gets upfield for good yardage.
And so Tennessee with quarterback Randy Sanders in there, the number 2 quarterback for Tennessee, pitching the ball left side, spinning with it again, Vando Davis. This time he knocks forward for a gain of right at 5 yards, but Tennessee's going to be penalized for a personal foul, and so we pick it up with Tennessee 2nd down and 19, and Vando Davis starts right, cuts back to the left, ends up with an 8-yard gain. Moses Collins is in there at quarterback for Tennessee. Give Vando Davis right side. It'll be 3rd down 11 Tennessee as Moses Collins fades to throw. Looks downfield. Pass complete. Collins to Rollins for a touchdown. And it's Moses Collins on target to John Rollins.
Moses Collins in the game now, getting ready to throw his first pass of the ball game. Steps up in the pocket and throws a superb pass to John Rollins, which splits 2 Ole Miss defenders. He makes a nice catch for his 2nd touchdown of the football season.
And Tennessee goes on to win the football game by a score of 55-13. We've talked a little bit about length of drives. Tennessee's last 2 scoring drives, one takes 6 minutes, one takes 7 minutes. But those first scoring drives with Hinton, listen, 143, 136, 306, 105, 217, 39 seconds. 6 touchdowns, an average of 1:44. The big play.
The big play indeed. Sterling Hinton showing, I called him the Mad Bomber earlier in the game. A lot of times you think of a Mad Bomber as someone who just throws the ball up with no purpose whatsoever. That's not true. Sterling Hinton showing a fine arm and good sense in the way he throws the football. Throwing it downfield, giving his receivers a chance to run under the football, giving them a chance to make adjustments as Terrence Cleveland did on one long pass. He's playing fine football right now for Tennessee.
Some of those bombs accounted for Tennessee averaging almost 8 yards a play yesterday. That's very impressive, and of course they had a record total of yardage of 578 yards. Of course, in the locker room, the player...
Longer hours to serve you, a 24-hour teller machine, and friendly people working hard to satisfy all your banking needs. Come visit us at Bank of Bartlett and our affiliate, Bartlett Mortgage. We'll make it happen for you.
I love the good life, the excitement. And I love VIP treatment, so you come here. Take a look. This Players Club card saves you big at some of the finest resorts in the world. Atlantic City, Las Vegas, Reno, Lake Tahoe, the Caribbean. And there are no strings attached. You can stay in one hotel, see a show in another, and dine in still another. Like here at Resorts International in Atlantic City. Players Club makes saving money easy.
I kept track, and we saved over $200 this weekend.
As a member of the Players Club, you can kiss those long registration and show lines goodbye.
We got right in on the VIP line and saved $30 in tickets.
Players Club operators are waiting. Call right now, and you'll get information about a special deal. 2 round-trip Super Saver airfares, 2 complimentary room nights in Atlantic City or Las Vegas with a membership in Players Club. You can't beat the deal, so call now.
Win in a row for the Tennessee Volunteers. Each week seemingly getting a little bit better, and as Johnny Majors said in the locker room following the game, the Vols' best overall performance of the season. And as far as freshman redshirt quarterback Sterling Hinton was concerned, he's having a great time enjoying himself out there on the football field.
Well, it feels good. It feels good executing. And if we execute like that every week, we have a chance, getting up there in the record column every week. We execute at a very high level today. And if we continue to do so, we'll continue to break more records.
We've said as the year goes on that experience is the teacher for you, and it seems like you're definitely passing the test. Are you able to see more things out there on the football field as you go in?
Yes, without a doubt. Everybody knows about pre-game jitters, and they'll go after the first couple of plays of the game. And unfortunately, I got not pre-game jitters, but pre-playing jitters. And, I'm starting to see more now. I'm getting experience and starting to react quicker to what I have to do out in the field.
Total offense over 560 yards today. That's got to make an offensive lineman really smile when he hears those kind of statistics.
Yeah, it is. It's great. We were able to play 2 units today offensively, and the second unit went in there and played just as well as the ones did, and it was a great effort, and I'm just happy as I can be.
More points offensively than you have ever seen as a Tennessee Volunteer player. That's got to make you guys feel good going into these last couple of games.
Yeah, it does. I know Kentucky's going to be tough, and we got to go up there and play in their backyard, and we got to do everything we can this week in practice to get ready for them, and just go up there and play at the same intensity and execute the same way we did today.
It really looked like the Tennessee defense had a good time out there playing. You set the tempo early, and you just dominated the rest of the ballgame.
Well, we knew coming into the game we had to dominate them on the line of scrimmage because the game is won on the line of scrimmage. We had to keep the quarterback in contain. They had some great receivers at number 1 in Ambrose. Outstanding.
Talk about what kind of a difference this makes for this team right now to get another big win under your belt. You've got 2 in a row now, and going down the stretch, it's got to be helpful.
I think it is helpful because we have to go to Kentucky next week, and I think we need that motivation to go up there and win.
Kept them out of the end zone and scoreless in the first half. Really came out and dominated against Mississippi. Did the things you like to do, and that's got to help going into the second half and for the rest of these games.
Yeah, that's going to help out a lot. We were fortunate early on to shut down some of their things and get the offense in good field position. And once you get a lead like that, you really don't want to look back, and we didn't. And things just worked out well today.
It's got to be a big boost going up to Kentucky. Always a tough one.
Yeah, Kentucky's always tough. I believe this got some confidence going for the trip up there.
It was a bad day for Ole Miss today in Tennessee, I tell you that. We couldn't stop the pass, we couldn't stop the run. It's the worst defense I've ever put on the field. That's it. If you got any questions, you better fire it. I ain't in a very good mood.
With a very pleased head coach Johnny Majors, and coach, like you said, one of the best games we've seen the Tennessee Volunteers play all the way around in quite a while.
Well, Greg, I don't remember the last time that we played any better as a football team. I think that's one of the best all-around exhibitions that we've put together in a long, long time. I can't remember the last one, and I won't repeat that anymore. But, our kicking game was such a big factor today. Other than a couple of kickoff coverages where they get the ball back to the 35 or 40, our punt returns really were big factors. Our kickoff returns were big factors. Punting did a good job. But the team play, running was very effective. I thought Hinton did an outstanding job of handling the game mentally and getting us in the right plays. And he also played very well physically. He performed with a lot of spunk and a lot of confidence. He had some good help. I thought our blocking was crisp up front. When you're able to establish a running game, it helps your play-action pass. It helps keep people off the pass rush. Receiving, we made some awful big catches. I thought Kennard McGuire made a real big catch over in the third down situation over in front of Ole Miss's bench. But that was just one of several good plays by our receivers. Defensively, one of the best efforts on defense that I think we've had in all year long. Maybe the best game we played this year in 1987. Hopefully we can build on that for the next 2 tough games down the line.
Coach, I know you don't like to talk a lot about bowls at this time of the season, but you must have perked up some ears seeing 55 points roll up for the Tennessee Vols against Ole Miss. And maybe that had some difference in what's going to happen with the Tennessee Vols and their bowl outlook.
Well, I don't know. The bowls can't be accepted till next week. I'm sure there's a lot of people doing a lot of talking about it right now. And I hope that we'll be in the running for one. But I don't think we have anything assured yet. So if something comes up, we'll let you know.
Overall, very pleased with the way your team played today.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't want to replay anything in that ballgame today. It was the first half was as fine a first half as I think we've had a team play in 11 years.
So understandably, a very joyful locker room for the Tennessee Volunteers. Disappointed for the Ole Miss Rebels. Undoubtedly, Billy Brewer, not a happy camper, as we were talking about earlier. A couple of points we haven't really touched on, and that is the kicking game and the way the defense played yesterday for the Vols.
The kicking game was outstanding. They had 5 punt returns, averaged over 20 yards a punt return, 2 kickoff returns over about 90 yards for that. And then you throw in the interception returns, they had over 200 yards in returns. And, of course, the defenses we've been talking about today also played very well.
We don't get to mention the defense a whole lot. lot because the offense was showing so much in the way of fireworks yesterday. The defense helped set up a couple of them. We saw the fumble recovery. We saw the interception by DeLong. He had a fine football game yesterday. Kelly Ziegler having a fine season. You can go on and on and on. The secondary playing very, very well. Like Coach Steele said, 220 yards in passing. That's pretty good for a secondary when they throw it 44 times.
And, of course, the official bowl invitations don't come out until next week, but we'll try and clear up the bowl situation for you when we come back from this.
It's time for Lifestyles of the Original Party Animal with the Grand Poobah of Partyometry, Bud Light's own Spuds McKenzie, as he's planning tonight's Big Bash. His fans watch as he tans his way to party elegance, a facial and massage, and Spuds McKenzie is ready to party. And Spuds parties with only Bud Light. He knows everything else is just a light.
1987 Motor Trend Car of the Year. The world's best-selling car. America's design leader. These cars have one thing in common. They're built by a single car company that's anything but common. Ford.
Winning the world over. You're winning. Have you been behind the wheel? Winning the world over. Have you driven a Ford lately?
When it comes to choosing a bank, most of us need the basic services just about any bank offers. So how do people choose a bank? They look for a solid reputation in their local community, convenience, accuracy, and most of all, they look for personal service and attention to their needs. If you're banking somewhere else, why not try the personal service we offer at First American, where banking is still a people business?
Get the new home feeling in your old home. Convert to natural gas heat.
If you've had enough of the cool air and high bills from your electric heat pump or other electric heat, but you cannot buy a new home, convert to gas heat.
Enjoy warm air comfort, 120 degrees warm, and lower monthly bills.
Get the new home feeling in your old home.
Natural gas.
We'll get to Tennessee's bowl chances in just a minute, but of course, for the Sugar Bowl, the Southeastern Conference winner an automatic bid to New Orleans. And yesterday, as usual, a very big day around the SEC, things starting to make a little more sense. Pick up the action in the second quarter in South Bend. Sophomore Tony Rice lobs to Andy Heck on 4th and goal to give the Irish the lead 7-3. Watch Heisman candidate Tim Brown runs back this punt for 34 of his 225 total yards on the afternoon. But Bobby Humphrey and the Alabama Crimson Tide show they can do the same thing. He runs this punt back 64 yards. A great effort for Bobby Humphrey. Alabama then needing something out of the great field position. Jeff Dunn, the freshman quarterback, gets chased out of bounds. The coaches want intentional grounding, and Dunn just wants consciousness. Early in the fourth, Mark Green rips it upfield for 74 yards. A great run. Might have stepped out of bounds, but it makes no difference as Bama suffers their worst loss since '71. Notre Dame 37, Alabama 6. Moving now to the Auburn-Georgia clash. Both teams with a shot at the SEC title going into this game, but after taking the lead here in the first quarter with Jeff Berger to Lawyer Tillman, the Tigers never looked back. Third quarter action now. Berger drops back, finds Harry Mose, and lets him do the work. 55 yards, and Duke Donaldson puts it in for Auburn 3 plays later. For Georgia, everything was going wrong in the third quarter. Watch James Jackson fumbling as he's chased out of the pocket. A big turnover right there for the Dogs. And for Auburn, everything was going their way. Bo Wright on the reverse, bobbles it a little bit, and takes it 27 yards for the TD. Auburn on line for an SEC title, 27-11 winners. Moving now to sunny Florida, the fans making the bowl selections. Stacy Simons starts the day off right. A spectacular 94-yard opening kickoff return for the touchdown. He does a lot on his own, but watch the blocking he gets a little bit downfield. Boom! Kerwin Bell went 12 of 20 on the day, but more importantly became the SEC's career TD pass leader. Florida rolls 27-14. Also in the conference yesterday, LSU pounding Mississippi State 34-14. Next week around the Southeastern Conference, Tennessee will be traveling to the Bluegrass State to take on the Kentucky Wildcats, a 1:30 kickoff at Commonwealth Stadium. LSU will take on Tulane, Ole Miss at Mississippi State, and Maryland will be in Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. The Southeastern Conference standings now. Auburn in line. If they can win against Alabama in 2 weeks, they've got the SEC championship sewn up. They're at 4-0-1 in the conference right now. LSU at 5-1. Alabama at 4-1. Georgia next at 4-2. And Tennessee fifth at 2-1-1. The bottom division this week, Florida even in the conference at 3-3. Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss are all three at 1-4 in the conference. And Mississippi State, the only team in the SEC without a win in conference play, at 0-5. So the Southeastern Conference race going down to the wire in 1987. Alabama and Auburn set for 2 weeks. They'll play on Friday after Thanksgiving for the Southeastern Conference crown. We'll have more on Big Orange Sunday when we come back from this.
Celebrate victory at the Volador in the Hyatt Regency. Open Tuesday through Saturday and serving delectable entrees. 10 of them priced under $15. Call 637-1234, the Volador.
Why is Bank of Bartlett becoming the favorite bank of so many folks in Shelby County? Because a good banking relationship just doesn't happen. At Bank of Bartlett, we make it happen for you. With Saturday banking, longer hours to serve you, a 24-hour teller machine, and friendly people working hard to satisfy all your banking needs. Come visit us at Bank of Bartlett and our affiliate, Bartlett Mortgage. We'll make it happen for you.
Sports medicine. One of many programs available at Baptist Hospital's HealthPlex. Doctors, physical therapists, and other specialists work as a team to treat sports-related injuries and chronic pain. Through the use of the latest muscle therapies and non-surgical technologies, sports participants are being returned to their games faster, without pain. Baptist Hospital, a leader in world medicine.
Season after a very big win over Ole Miss yesterday. Freshman redshirt quarterback Sterling Hatton with a sterling output as far as quarterbacking is concerned. Of course, Jeff Francis now is out of the cast. He's limping around a little bit after injuring his ankle about 3 or 4 weeks ago. What's his status right now? Does anybody know?
Right now, Jeff Francis is out of the cast, got the cast taken off this week, and like you say, he's limping around a little bit now. He's got to work the soreness out of the ankle and things like that. So I'd have to say he's very doubtful for Kentucky, and hopefully they'll have him back for Vanderbilt.
Of course, the Kentucky and Vanderbilt games coming up will not necessarily affect the bowl picture. Of course, the bowl bids don't officially go out until after the Kentucky game next Saturday, but most of the time those bowl bids are set up well in advance, and most of them are pretty much in the basket by now. And it looks like Tennessee will be spending their holidays in Atlanta at the Peach Bowl.
if any report is to be seen as true, that's what it looks like. But I'm not quite sure that they're really going to say that definitely they're going to go to Atlanta and cut the deal right now. After the way they played yesterday, I'm sure they'll be able to entertain a few other offers now and possibly go someplace else that may be more to their liking, although I'm not sure they're really averse to going to Atlanta.
Johnny Majors, as he always says, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and right now the Peach Bowl is in the hand as far as the rumors are concerned now. Of course, they could be going up against South Carolina in Atlanta on the Peach Bowl on January 2nd. Could be going up against Clemson. Clemson and South Carolina matching up next weekend. It should be a very interesting weekend next week.
Oh, very definitely. And right now we're talking a lot about bowl bids and things like this. And I can hear Tennessee's coaching staff screaming right now because all they want to hear about is Kentucky. Kentucky, Kentucky, Kentucky. They don't want to hear anything about bowl bids because they want their players to concentrate on the task at hand.
And next week we'll be coming to you at the same time after that Tennessee-Kentucky game. For Steve Phillips, Charles Davis, and the voice of the Vols, John Ward, I'm Greg Peterson. See you next week, everybody.
Sunday has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By the Big Orange Ford dealers of Tennessee, where you can get America's best-built, best-selling cars.